Hello and welcome, bucket listers. On today's adventure we have travelled to the historical city of Salisbury, the home of the Magna Carta and one of the country's great cathedrals. The Magna Carta is one of only 4 in the country and is the best example of it, well worth a visit if you have time. However, for us, we had other places to be. We're off to find Stonehenge, and after, the remains of old Sarum. To get there we took the local tourist bus from the train station. As it made its way around the city, it provided useful and interesting facts about the buildings and areas we passed. The overall journey to Stonehenge took about 30 minutes from the centre to the stones. Neither Joe nor myself had been to Stonehenge since we were teenagers, so a good few years ago now. So when we arrived at the new visitor centre, it took us by surprise. As too was the fact that it was a 30-minute walk away from the stones. Although there is now a shuttle bus that runs between the stones and the visitor centre. The visitor centre itself provides good facilities of a shop, cafe and toilets. Outside is a reconstruction of what the houses would have looked like if you were alive at the time Stonehenge was built. There is also, inside, a small museum and gallery of pictures from over the time and of artefacts that were found around the site. Stonehenge Course, and it is, you can see the gap in the trees just over here, and there is a ditch either side coming all the way down, and it goes on for about 500-600 metres, and that is the earliest part of this site, dating back about 500-600 years prior to the actual Stonehenge. There isn't much that you can actually see there. There's a couple of just ridges in the ground where the old earthworks used to be, but it is still a massive area there that was part of this once huge site. So just a little bit more information about Stonehenge. The large upright stones were brought from a nearby site and weigh around about 30 tonnes each. The smaller blue stones were brought from Wales, about 150 miles away, and it was presumed that they brought them down here by boat along the River Avon and then across, but still 150 miles for stones those size is quite an impressive feat for Stone Age mankind. They were knocked into shape using obviously wood and stone tools, and it probably took quite a while to actually construct this site. And it's not only just erecting the stones. Around the outskirts there's a ditch that would have taken quite a few hours to dig, and you can see just in front of us the ditch. One of the most amazing facts for me about the site is that during the summer solstice the sun rises in line with the stones, and during the winter solstice it sets perfectly amongst the stones as well. And that, how much planning and design that's taken, but also shows that the relative pattern of the Earth moving around the Sun hasn't changed for a good 5,000 years, as that alignment is still functional today.
Here we are at Old Sarum, our second English heritage site of the day.
Small dog running around.
Old Sarum, there may have been a hilltop here as early as BC times, but what is definitely known is that it was used as a hilltop fort by the Romans shortly after their invasion of the British Isles in AD 43. They called it Sorviodonum at the time, and it was after the Romans, the Saxons used it. But the castle itself up there wasn't built until after William the Conqueror took over this country in the late 11th century. The clergy, however, abandoned the cathedral up here, moving to Salisbury over there. Just about see the spire on the horizon. In 1220, thereafter, Old Sarum was still occupied, but and therefore thereafter known as a rotten borough, which elected members of parliament until as late as 1832.